Time to get real. It's Realtv. The military jet is in free fall. The pilots only have a few precious seconds to get out alive.
826, hit the battle switch, recover.
A high-speed chase turns into a race as the suspect takes a powder. Which way did he go? The shoplifting suspect tries to make a clean escape with the goods, but she has no idea she's being watched. Plus, a TV commercial goes wrong, and the speeding train on a collision course. This is Realtv for Thursday, July 13th, 2000. Two U.S. Navy flyers are in a fight for their lives in today's top story. A fighter pilot and co-pilot are trapped in an aviator's worst nightmare, an uncontrolled flat spin. The F-14 Tomcat is falling from the sky at an alarming rate of speed. The chances to recover from this type of spin are slim, but the pilot is determined to battle the odds. The situation is bleak, and after all of their efforts fail, the men finally punch out of their cockpit. They clear the F-14 and parachute safely to the sea out of camera range. The fighter continues its fall on final approach to a watery grave. Even though the $38 million fighter is a complete loss, the Air Force is able to study the crash to learn more about the flat spin phenomenon. A driver leads cops on a wild chase through the streets of a London suburb. Police tried pulling the guy over for speeding, but he ignored their sirens and put the pedal to the metal. The young lad is running scared. Just months ago, his license was revoked. Police chased the driver into a quiet neighborhood. Citizens better watch out. The suspect crashes his car and charges through local backyards. The suspect gives cops the slip. But not for long. Police surround some trees and find the bad boy tucked inside. Cops quickly nab the suspect and haul him to jail. Neighbors say they'll never forget the day their tiny town became Chase City. This woman is a professional shoplifter, and she's never been caught until now. Here, she steals a $10,000 wedding dress. Unbelievably, she's using her kids as a decoy, leaving the stroller open for the gown. And that's not all she stole. Here, she unloads another stroller full of goodies. Cops go to her house and hit the mother lode. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of new merchandise, with the tags still on.
Okay, now we're in the room that appears to be the child's room.
In this incident, we got in there and it was way beyond our imagination of what was there. I mean, the items were stacked so high. This house was every room was totally full of property. Why do I think she stole? I think it was a challenge to her. I think, again, that she thought she was capable of doing something without getting caught.
But she was caught on video, and now she's serving time in a Utah prison. A
Remember Tough Shed.
You may have seen the commercial. Professional motocross rider Brent Smith rides his bike on top of these sheds. This may look like it was a perfectly planned stunt.
Not every shed is a tough shed.
But it really isn't. Now, thanks to these outtakes, Realtv will show you what Brent really went through to make this commercial. Brent crashes through the roof as expected, but he slams upside down into the ground. He's in trouble. The crew rushes in to check on Brent. He's okay. For a pro like Brent, it's just a minor setback. And when a local Denver TV station asked Brent to recreate his stunt live, he couldn't resist the challenge. Perfect. Brent tears the weak shed to shreds on live television. Now he can look back at this video knowing he's as tough as the sheds he sells. His wife thinks he's out shooting hoops. Coming up, the cheating spouse is caught on tape. And life behind bars. This is why they call it doing hard time. Later, the truck, the train, and the inevitable crash. We're on call 24 hours a day to bring you the very best videotape. We're Realtv.
You're watching Realtv.
Welcome back. I'm John Daly. If you're thinking about cheating on your spouse, think again. Someone could be watching you and getting the evidence on tape. It looks innocent enough. Two lovers out for a moonlight stroll. Then into a motel room for a night of romance. But this home movie is anything but innocent. It's evidence of a cheating husband shot by a private eye.
A wife comes to us and wants to know if her husband had a girlfriend at his basketball league, which he played basketball for over a year.
Anthony DiLorenzo, founder of Infidelity.com, says this is the case of the sneaky spouse who goes way out of bounds.
He never ever joined the league. What he did is that he would pick up his girlfriend, go to a motel, do his little thing, put his basketball uniform on, and drive home exactly the same time the league was supposed to be over.
This guy's scoring all right, but it's not in any basketball game. When the cheater's wife finds out, she's crushed. But she doesn't get mad. She gets even.
My client was so furious that he got over on her for such a long time that she wanted us to give him a gift. The following Friday, when he pulled up to the motel room, there was a gift on the doorknob. Inside the bag was a basketball that said, "The game's over, the ball's in my court, love your wife, Mary." They flipped out so much that he could not believe he was caught, and she started crying because she was married. And that was sweet revenge for my client.
Even though the husband's caught red-handed, this two-timer still tries to deny his affair and even puts the basketball back.
When he came home that night, the wife asked him, "How was your basketball game?" He said, "I didn't do that well tonight." And he still wouldn't admit it. But he finally did when she showed him the videotape.
And when the final buzzer sounds, this player winds up a big loser. Not on the basketball court, but in divorce court.
These prison walls are all that separate some of the most violent people in the country from the rest of us. Surveillance cameras at California's Pelican Bay Prison reveal the frightening prisoner-on-prisoner brutality that's a part of everyday life here. This prisoner's exercising when another inmate suddenly attacks him. It looks like the inmate is throwing punches. He's actually stabbing his victim with a homemade knife. The second attacker, in blue, pounds the victim mercilessly. Guards finally reach the spot and separate the men. For some experts, it's no surprise that these prisoners are so violent.
They certainly didn't get to Pelican Bay by accident, and so no more could they control themselves on the street, and they can't control themselves within the facilities either.
Here, a couple of punches turn into a full-scale riot. use pepper spray to stop the fighting. Just as they seem to be getting things under control, another group of inmates reignites the brawl. When this violent confrontation breaks out, guards fire tear gas immediately. But the enraged inmates simply move out of the way and keep on fighting. Now watch as this prisoner walks up behind another man and stabs him over and over. As guards approach, the attacker flings his weapon away. His victim lies severely wounded. Over 400 injury incidents a year take place at this prison. Correctional officers are often accused of using excessive force. They've made these tapes public to show just what they're up against.
I think what those tapes show, more than anything, is that we do operate with a great deal of restraint, and we do have a very difficult job.
These tapes also show the violent fate that awaits anyone unlucky enough to be sentenced here. Hopefully, anyone watching will consider that before they consider a life of crime. Amazing weather footage caught on tape. Coming up, the swimming pool takes a beating from the giant hailstones. And the truck is stuck on the tracks. Now the driver has to scramble to get out of the way. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Realtv.
Hi, I'm Kristen Eichel. You've never seen hail like you're about to see right now. We've got some video of some wild weather. A severe storm works its way through Arizona, and Realtv viewer Nicholas Budge is there with his home video camera. This is a hailstorm! The weather system showers a Tucson, Arizona neighborhood with marble-sized hail. The downpour only lasts a few minutes, but the damage is done. Most of the roofs in the neighborhood will have to be repaired or replaced. Southeast of this storm is another massive front passing through Buffalo Gap, Texas. With video camera in hand, storm chaser Jim Leonard takes refuge in the garage of a vacant house. He rolls tape as sheets of hail fall from the sky. Hailstones the size of golf balls coat the ground with a layer of white ice. Watch and listen to the sights and sounds of the storm. If you think golf ball-sized hail is something, take a look at what happens minutes later. Hail the size of baseballs bombards the backyard swimming pool.
What we're seeing on the videotape is hailstones, probably baseball size, and some maybe larger than that, bouncing around in this pool and stripping the trees around it. And this is the kind of thing that the farmers out in those areas fear the most because they strip all their crops. And it's billions of dollars in damage every year.
The storm continues for about 15 minutes and buries the lawn under a layer of ice.
Ever since I've been a little kid, I've always been fascinated by severe weather. It's not being a thrill seeker or anything like that. It's part of storm chasing. And if you want to see us like going after the wild beast, you know, you want to get as close to see it as best you can.
Miranda, come here.
The Texas sun is shining.
Oh, boy.
The Westerfield kids are playing.
Hurry up, Miranda.
What a wonderful time for Dad to be taping some memories.
I'm hot. Get back.
But just beyond those bushes, Kevin Westerfield is about to record more than memories. He's going to record some real TV.
Seen the 18-wheeler down there hung up on the tracks.
A speeding train is nearing the crossing, putting a big rig in big danger.
I said to myself, I said, if nobody's called or anything, that there's going to be a pretty big mess here.
That's a Texas-sized understatement. The fully loaded freight train plows through the truck, which in turn hits a telephone pole. The engineer slams on the brakes, but it'll take nearly a mile to stop that train.
When it hit, it shattered all the windows out of the train and buckled the doors where they had to crawl out of the windows so that nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt because the truck driver ran when he realized his rig was wedged on the tracks. He tried to call the railroad, but this video proves it was too late. As for the father of the three who captured the collision, he's left with an image he'll never forget and a lesson about trains he'll always remember.
To really pay attention because, you know, you never know because they can't stop. There's no way.
It's a day at the races in the Southern California desert. The finish line is in sight for Randy Norman. He's in the lead, and he's left the other motorcyclists way back in the dust. The checkered flag is waving. Norman is just a few feet from a first-place finish. But watch out! Here's what went wrong. Norman is so sure he's going to win, he raises his arms in triumph and loses control. Everybody rushes to his aid. Randy Norman suffers a broken collarbone. He still gets the trophy. But next time, he'll probably wait till he's safely stopped before he starts celebrating. Make plans to watch Realtv tomorrow so you can see the frightening video of the crocodiles who jumped from the river and watch the hotel come crumbling down. That's tomorrow. Still ahead today, racers in rough terrain. They say curiosity killed the cat, but we've got tape that shows it just gets other animals in trouble. In Lubbock, Texas, this skunk's head is stuck in an empty yogurt container. The cameraman's a kind soul, but he's not about to get sprayed by this smelly critter, so he tries to get the container off with his foot. After a couple of tries, the cameraman's successful, and the skunk scampers away. In Sacramento, California, this dog somehow got his head stuck in a milk carton. A passerby tries to help, but this pup's moving pretty fast. Watch out, Booch! The happy dog is free at last. In slow motion, you can see it was a great move from this good Samaritan that set the pup free. And in Australia, this snake has a definite drinking problem. Bob Baker finds the snake with its head stuck in a beer can outside his house.
I thought he had a substance abuse problem.
Ripped or not, this reptile needs rescuing, so Bob takes him to a snake surgeon. The surgeon's technique isn't exactly high-tech, but it works. Now comes the dangerous part. This is a king brown snake, Australia's most venomous variety. So very carefully, a ranger returns him to the wild. The snake isn't too hungover to scare the camera crew, though. 3 animals whose curiosity nearly got the best of them, all caught on tape. We've shown you the life and death drama of a bullfight before. But here in Pamplona, Spain, some bullfighters face death head-on in a very different way. In this French twist on the sport, the idea is just to avoid the bull in high style. Proof once again that the French are lovers, not fighters.
But of course. Well, that's it for now. As we leave you, here's a look at the grueling Scottish Hill Rally.